Okay, yay, you're here. I'm so excited today because I'm taking you to an estate sale that Rob and I went to not that long ago. And when I say an estate, it was gorgeous. It was an artist's residence where she had raised her children, and this was just had everything. The grounds, the house. I'm going to show you sneak peeks of all of it. And if you stay around until the end, you will see a few things that I brought home. So come along with me. And again, I'm so glad you're here. Right when we were pulling in, I knew this was going to be a really special place. And it is a rather large estate. We only got to see part of it. Some of it was portioned off where you couldn't go. But this, I found out later as we wandered around, would have been a gorgeous horse pasture. And you enter in to the front of the house here. And this one started in the afternoon. There was a short window in the beginning, like from, I think it was 4 to 6 or something. And then it was going to start the next day as well in the morning. And here are just some still shots of just how beautiful this place was. And there were a lot of these stone, huge garden benches. And I just don't even know how many acres this property was on. But it seems that it was probably rural at one time, and I think the town just kind of grew up around them, but now it's in a great, convenient location. And I was in line with some friends of the homeowner. And of course, into the dining room, the formal dining room, and straight to the dishes. Someone stopped me. I really just wanted a shopping cart to bring in here and just begin loading it up. But I really had to exercise restraint because I don't have a house as large as this one or the storage space. Even the table that those dishes were on was amazing. And this was probably my favorite piece in all of the dishes was the fish platter. Just really a beautiful piece. And moving around the room, of course I saw these gorgeous sconces on the wall. And unfortunately not for sale. And who doesn't love a little collection of whiteware? And this was a really interesting coal burning stove. I thought it was really pretty, but I had no idea where I would buy coal for it. And then on into the very nice kitchen. I do not need any glassware, but so many of these were very tempting. All these Ralph Lauren goblets and drinking glasses and crystal pieces were just very tempting, but I didn't take any of them because I just don't need any more and don't have a place for them. Okay, I'm just breaking in real quick, friends. I wanted to let you know that I am getting a lot more active on Instagram. I'm going to start doing more regular posts on FreeRangeCottage, and I also have a page for Peanut and Koji, our little pups. So if you like a little joy from some fun pups, then you might want to follow over there as well. And I'll put the links in the description. This was in, I believe it was maybe a master bathroom, but it had already been sold. But there was a lot of talking about it in the background. Everybody, I think, really liked it. And just a really neat little collection of crystals and rocks, and something that I would enjoy having. It just felt like a very warm family home. And here is some of the artist's beautiful artwork that was for sale. Her paintings. The friend of the family said she used to sit on the front porch with her easel and look out over her gorgeous front yard there, and that horse pasture. Great place for inspiration, I would think. But she was definitely very talented and very creative, as you'll see some of the other things in this estate. And off the back of that sort of family room was this really neat little deck area, and there was a whole other sort of guest house over there that we didn't have access to. And you can see all the mature landscaping, a swimming pool. And we haven't even gotten to the barn and the garden yet. This was just one of the most stunning plant stands. It was really large. You can't really tell in the video, but this was really a great piece that I would have loved to bring home. It was just a bit out of my budget at this point, but someone really got a treasure. I probably should have bit the bullet and got it, because I'll probably never find anything like it again. I thought this was a really pretty ceramic piece. Just everywhere you turned was a lot of charm, and you could tell it had just been a lifetime of collecting and planting and working in the garden. And then you go on the side of the house and walk down this path, which was actually a driveway as well, out to the barn out this way. I mean, just a perfect property if you wanted to have sort of a small homestead, but pretty much a Martha Stewart style homestead. This garden, this gate here, this iron gate, I just wanted to bring that home as well. And then before you get to the barn, on the left is a fenced off, gorgeous garden, but you can tell it hasn't been worked in quite some time, but all the structure is there. And I believe there are more pastures even past it over there. Just a dreamy, dreamy property. I'm sure it would take some work, but all of it would be so enjoyable to bring this back to its prime. Everything was really in pretty good shape, just hadn't been worked in a while. And this is the barn with actual beautiful horse stables. I grew up around horses, and now I want a horse again. We'll see if that ever happens. But this was a very fun space. So, looked like it housed several horses here. There was another little room over there that had a huge kiln, like for pottery and ceramics. And then there was this big stained glass piece, and I wonder if that had been done by the homeowner. Seemed like she was infinitely creative. And what a great place to raise your family. There were so many things I could have brought home, but I was trying to be very conservative. This bird cage was, I love it. I love it. But I knew if I got it, then I would want an actual live bird to go in there. So I knew that was dangerous territory. Every time I see those great bird cages, you gotta have a real bird that lives in there. And this was a really pretty piece as well. Pricey, but honestly, if it's a genuine antique, probably a fraction of what you would pay in an antique store. or an antique market even. And there was a big sort of primitive cabinet here. I thought was a really neat piece. And these little chairs on the top were just completely darling. I have no idea why I didn't find the price on those and bring those home. My grandkids are a little too big for them, but one day I may have more grandkids and I will definitely need those cute little chairs. You can see that just every time you turned around, there was something amazing. But this was my favorite. This was attached onto the barn, and this is where I would live and bring it back to its former glory. On one side was this fantastic greenhouse, and on the other was a workshop. But I could just completely see this full of plants and seedlings and all the growing things. And on the other side, I would love to adapt that into sort of a summer kitchen. Can you imagine, where you could do your food preserving and all that kind of fun stuff. And then there was a huge aquarium in there. Nothing in it, but Rob and I both loved that idea as well. Now on to the haul. I had to bring home some of these great old clay pots. And you know why I love them. It's the P word. I love the patina. And they were $5 a piece, except that different rounded shaped one. That one was about $8. So they've already been planted up, a lot of them, not all of them. I have some bigger ones that I haven't put anything in yet, but I just adore them. And they may stay in the house. These plants may summer outside, but either way, the terracotta on these is just perfect, and I bet you would agree if you like plants like I do. Okay, so upstairs was a great find. It was buried under a few books, so kind of buried treasure, and it was a Rachel Ashwell Shabby Chic Interiors book. I have a couple of her other books, and I used to have even more, but I gave some of them to my daughter. I kind of take the dust jackets off, which I probably shouldn't, but I just love the gray with the silver leaf lettering that she puts on them. So you can see this one as well has the gray, so then when you have her books, you've got a really beautiful collection. But this was around $5, and just lots of inspiration. I don't decorate strictly shabby chic or anything like that, but she does use a lot of white, a lot of light and airy, and a little bit of floral. And I just like that she does use a lot of vintage and repurposed and reworked and mixes it all together and gets a great look. So that's always a great inspiration. And another thing I found was this great pillowcase, and it was under $10, and it had the pillow cover in it. It's very large. It's like a 27-inch maybe, and it's got this ruffle on it with the what do I want to say, the frayed edge, and it does have a zipper, so you can wash it, which I already did. And when I brought it home, like I said, it had the pillow in it, and I decided to just throw that out, and I'm going to put a new down one of one that I have. I believe this is a Home Goods. It's that really pretty matte laissez, and it's cotton. It's made in Portugal, and I have seen some similar to this, but they usually run at least $25 with the insert. So I thought this was a really pretty nice gray that could go on my couch over the summer. So that was a good find as well. So that wraps it up for us today. Thanks so much for coming along with me and for watching. I'll see you next time.